ओ ओ ओ सहनाववतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ओम श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। We are seeing 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Purushottama Yoga, along with Shankar Bhashya. Last time I had given introduction. 15th chapter is very important, very logical and rational thinking is there. And Shankar Bhashya is something great which will give us more information about what Bhagwan is actually want to communicate. And last time I told you on the pretext of Arjuna, Bhagwan removed the burden of samsara of whole world on the pretext of Arjuna. Like sun comes for one Surya Vikasini Kamal, and that sun removes the darkness of whole world. So many questions we raised against Bhagwan Bhashyakara's Bhashya. Like Arjuna did not ask, then why Bhagwan started talking about Atma Tattva? We gave answer that like mother doesn't ask child, child never, mother doesn't wait to ask child whether I am doing right or wrong. Same way, Bhagwan did not wait to Arjuna ask. Bhagwan started directly talking Tattva Jnana, Atma Jnana. Okay. Then if Bhagwan wants to communicate real knowledge, self-knowledge, Atma Tattva, then why he started with Vruksha Varnanam, Samsara Vruksha Varnanam. This was the question we raised. Then we got answer that for Vairagya, Bhagwan started with Samsara Vruksha Varnanam. Okay, why do I need Vairagya? Then wonderful, surprising word came from Bhagwan Bhashyakara. We should underline this. Viraktasya hi samsarat bhagvat tattva jnane adhikaratha. The one who is virakta of such person is only qualified for Atma Jnana or Tattva Jnana. Bhagwan could have stopped there, but he said, Na anyasya. Others are not capable, eligible to for this Brahma Jnana. There we saw, and then we read Shloka also, Anvaya Artha of both we did. Shloka, Anvaya Artha, everything we saw. So first, whenever we read shloka, that time vigraha we have to do. Vigraha means parsing to find out all appropriate vibhakti. And when you parse thoroughly, then you have to do anvaya. Anvaya means rearranging all words. Parsing means you see this vigraha, urdhva mula, madha kya hai? What is this madha? So it is actually adhaha. When we parse all words, we get the exact meaning or exact vibhakti. Otherwise, you won't get that. Okay. Urdhva moolam. Then this is the rearranging the word. Yeah. We saw everything. Now, once again, I will read this shloka. Urdhva moolamadha shakham ashwatham prahuravyayam छंदांसि यस्य पर्णानि यस्तं वेद स वेदवित्. Meaning is urdhva moolam adha shakham ashwatham prahuhu. This ashwatham is a name given for this samsara vruksha. Ashwatham we should not misunderstood with banyan tree. Okay, like banyan tree is like roots are coming down, so it is not indicated here. Ashwatha means we can say people tree. Okay, and that vruksha is how whose root is above and all branches are down. Okay, what are the leaves of this vruksha? Chandamsi means Vedas are the vruksha, parna of this vruksha, and one who knows this samsara vruksha along with its root udvam, that person is Vedavid. We'll see how Bhagwan Bhashyakara says. Okay, this is the basic meaning, that there is one vruksha, people tree, samsara vruksha, whose name is Ashwatham, and whose root is above, branches are down, leaves are Vedas, and one who knows this samsara vruksha along with Paramatma, not only samsara vruksha, he is Vedavid, he is knower of Vedas. Okay, now I will ask one doubt. Last time I told you one doubt. Here samsara vruksha is avyaya. Okay, it will undestructible. Samsara vruksha is. And we say Paramatma also is undestructible. Avyaya Shabda in second chapter used for Paramatma. And same, it is used for Paramatma also. Samsara also and Paramatma also. Okay. Then, what is the difference between two? Paramatma is also Anadi. Paramatma is also Bhavarup, exist. Maya is also Anadi. And Maya is also Bhavarupa. Bhavarupa is technical word. Bhavarupa means which exists. Easy. Can we say world exists or not? Yes, world is existing. I can say that. Paramatma is there or not? What is the difference between two? Because that is the doubt here raised. That Paramatma is also Avyaya and the Samsara Vruksha is Avyaya. And what is the difference? Beautiful answer. This is aside point. We will discuss when we read Bhashya. I raised this doubt last time, so I am clarifying it in the beginning only. Answer, you see how beautiful answer is given. God is Anadi, Maya is Anadi. Okay. God is Bhavarupa, Maya is also Bhavarupa. Okay. But Maya is not Swayam Prakasha. This is the beautiful answer. Otherwise, there is no difference between world and Paramatma. Anadi Bhavarupa, Anadi Bhavarupa. But Paramatma is what? Paramatma, my nature is Swayam Prakasha. Swayam Prakasha we have seen, which knows itself and which can illumine others. Maya cannot illumine. Maya is Jada Swarupa. Okay. So this is the difference between Anadi and Bhavarupa. Okay. Another one more difference is Paramatma world is also eternal, like undestructible, and Paramatma is also Nitya. What is the difference between two? This is very important. Vedantic terms, Pravahi Nityam, and one is Satya Nitya. This term I have only brought here. Otherwise, Nitya is also okay. Pravahi Nityam. Why we called, or why Bhagwan Krishna called this world as Avyayam or Nitya? Because this world is Pravahi Nitya. How to understand this Pravahi Nitya? Like this world is continuously born, gone, born, gone. This is the avastha of this world. Nothing is stable. If one thing repeats within a few seconds of time, then it appears as Nitya. Actually, it is continuously born, gone, born, gone, born, gone. But that speed is such high speed, I cannot recognize that this world is going and coming, going and coming. I feel it is Nitya. It is called Pravahi Nitya. Actually, it is not Nitya, but it appears to be Nitya. So one answer given. Simple example is river. This is Shastra example. Simple example is our river. Like every day we see river and we take bath in that. We say, yesterday I took bath in this water only. But actually that water has gone away and that water is not there anymore. But I feel this water is yesterday's water because that flow is continuously. So I feel everything is this river is Nityam. Same way the flow of rhythm of world is continuously going, 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 born, gone, born, gone. So I feel this world is Nityam. This second answer given. So two types of Avyayam. One is Pravahi Nityam, another is Nityam. Paramatma is Nityam. This samsara is Pravahi Nityam. It is in one flow, one rhythm. I cannot recognize that flow. Oh, so this was the answer. Second answer is beautiful. Why this? If this world is continuously, born, gone, born, gone. This is the status of this world. Then why this world appears to be real? This is our question. Even this is also not our question. Our question is why my problems are real. Why this world is real? What does it matters to me? Why my problems are real? I never say why my problems are real. I worried more and more about my problems. So that problem itself is questioned here. Answer is given why this world appears Nityam because substratum of this world is Nityam. That is why Anitya world also appears to be Nityam. Beautiful sentence. Substratum, ashraya of this world. So changing world is non-changing entity. That is why this non-changing, this changing world appears to be non-changing. Beautiful example given by our Acharya.
Can you repeat this, please?
Substratum of this world is real, Nityam. That is why this changing world appears to be Nityam. Substratum is real, that is why unreal world appears to be real. If you understand example, you will enjoy this concept. Okay, concept is like Dhirubhai Ambani's son's wedding is there, and in that Dhirubhai Ambani's Vanita Ambani wore a necklace, and that necklace is actually duplicate. It is not original necklace. This is a kalpana only, and she came into a people in party. Will anybody think about that necklace that necklace is duplicate? Nobody will think that. Though that necklace is duplicate, but nobody will consider that necklace as duplicate, not original. Why? Because that substratum, the person who is wearing that necklace is so powerful, real, you can say for now. That is why the nobody calls that necklace as duplicate. On the other hand, you take if a beggar goes to that party and he wears a original necklace, what other people will say? Big people, white collar people, they will say that lady is also weird and that necklace is not real, though that is real. Means what? Everything is depending upon substratum. If substratum is real, then unreal thing will also appear as real. Example is Nita Ambani. We will remember. Okay. So we will go ahead. Now, Urdhva and Adha. Gurudev strictly in his commentary he said, Samsara Vriksha means roots are above and roots are above and branches are down. It is not like that. This is a foolish kalpana. And Gurudev wrote that some people drew it also and they sold it also. So this is the lack of understanding of our Shastra. Okay. We will see what Urdhva means, Adha means one by one. Okay. Chalo, I will read Bhashya now. This was the yesterday's explanation. Yeah. And Avyaya, how word is Avyaya? Okay. Urdhva Moolam Adhashakam. Very important word. You know, we can go on thinking on Bhagavad Gita. There is no limit for that. 1 hour is actually very less, but we will try to compensate everything. Okay. Urdhva Moolam. I am reading with parsing. Okay. Bhashya is also a compactable, a compound word. I am reading them, splitting them so that you can understand. Otherwise, here reading is word will be different and reading is different. It is not like that. Urdhva Moolam. Urdhva means what? Why this Samsara Vriksha is called Urdhvam? Bhagavan Shankaracharya is giving answer. 3 reasons he gave. 4. Why it is called Urdhvam? Nobody can give these answers. Okay. Nobody can support Bhagwan's words like this. There is no power. Kalatah Sukshmatvat, Karanatvat, Nityatvat, Mahatvat. This cha you remember. Cha means and. Okay, every time this cha will be coming. And iti means thus or like this. Iti. Iti and cha, slowly little bit Sanskrit also you remember. Cha means and. Like Amitah and Shilpa cha. Amit and Shilpa we can say are students. Chhatraha. Okay, so cha means and. Okay. ऊर्ध्वमूलम कालतः सूक्ष्मत्वात् कारणत्वात् नित्यत्वात् महत्वाच्च ऊर्ध्वम उच्यते. And मुच्यते is actually उच्यते. ब्रह्म अव्यक्तम माया शक्तिमत् तत् मूलम अस्य इति सह अयम संसार वृक्षः ऊर्ध्व मूलः. This much we will see first. Yeah. So why, first of all, understand, highlight, Urdhva here means not up. Okay, Urdhva here means, Bhagavan said 4 things. Urdhva means Kalatah Sukshmatvat, Karanatvat, Nityatvat, Mahatvat. We'll see. First of all, simple meaning is Urdhva means superior and Adha means inferior. Urdhva means beyond comprehension. Urdhva means beyond comprehension and Adha means visible or comprehensible. These 2 meanings you remember. Superior, inferior. Beyond comprehension, comprehensible. Okay, comprehensible or perceptible. Okay. So this samsara vriksha we can see, okay, and it is inferior. But root of this origin, from where it originated, the fountainhead we can say of this samsara vriksha is urdhvam, means superior, means that which is beyond comprehension. Okay, so adaha urdhva idea is clear. There is no down and going up. It is not like that. Kalatah sukshmatvat, meaning is why this Paramatma is called urdhvam or superior, because this Paramatma is sukshma, subtler than the Kalah, very sensitive topic, very deep thinkable topic, very deep. Time is concept, you know, scientists also they are thinking, they have thought over it, but we'll try to make as simple as we can. Kalatah sukshmatvat means this Paramatma is subtler than the Kala. Okay, or second meaning is Paramatma comes first and Kala comes later. Paramatma comes first and Kala comes later. That which comes first is Sukshma. Okay, I have to think more and more. Okay, why it is called Sukshma? Karanatvat. That which is Karan is Sukshma. Okay, we will they all reasons are interwoven. Okay, Paramatma is Sukshma. Why? Karanatva. Now you think a little bit, like Prithvi, earth element is gross, water element is subtler than that, right? Fire is subtler than that. Why? Why water is subtler than the Prithvi, earth? Because water is the karanam of earth. So Bhagavan is telling this Brahma is Sukshma. Why? Because this Brahma is Karanam of this whole world. Okay, why Brahma is Karanam? To ask why you don't wait. Because it is Nitya, that is why it is Karanam. It is Nitya, that is why it is Karanam. Means what? Before effect, cause should exist. Right? If I want to make a pot, then clay should exist before pot. Potter should exist before pot. Same, why? Because that is Karanam, and that Karanam should be Nitya. Okay, again I will tell why this Paramatma is Karanam, because that Paramatma is Nitya, ever present. Before this world, after this world, that is why that thing can be a Karanam. Okay, why this Paramatma is Nitya? Mahatvacha. You will understand the Gambhir, graveness or seriousness of this bhashya when we go one by one word. Mahatvat. Why this Paramatma is Nitya? Because it is the biggest one. It is infinite. Mahatvat means not importance. Mahat means big. The big. Okay. That is why this Paramatma is Nitya. Okay. One thing is clear, that which is infinite, that is Nitya. And that which is Nitya is Karanam. That which is Karanam is subtler than the Kala. Means first Paramatma is there, then in that Paramatma Kala comes, in that Kala all world starts. Okay, you think upon it. Urdhvam Uchchate Brahma. That is why this Brahma is called Urdhvam, superior, origination. Why? Because it is Sukshma. Why it is Sukshma? Because it is Karanam. Karanam is always Sukshma. Why it is Karanam? Because it is Nitya. That which is Nitya can be a Karanam. Why it is Nitya? Because it is the big, it is infinite. That is why it is called Urdhvam Uchyate. Now somebody will ask, like if Brahma is Asanga, then how this Paramatma, how this Brahma can become Karana of this world? Very important question. I have 2-3 doubts on this also. See, everything is going on about us only. Yes, it is about us. Otherwise, there is no point in thinking or Sukshmata, Karana, what is this, that. Everything is going on about us only. Yes. Okay, this Brahma is Asanga, then how this Brahma can become Karanam of this Jagat? If clay is Karanam, then clay and pot, they will have some sambandha, right? If potter is the Karanam of pot, then potter and pot will have some sambandha. But Brahma is Asanga. It cannot come with in contact with anything. Brahma is, or I am, I cannot associate with anything. Easy example is this Akasha Tattva, space. Space is infinite. So space never comes in contact with anything. Okay? Then how this Brahma became Karanam of this world? Okay? And it is not much difficult. We got him. Example is given, what a words. Maya Avyaktam Maya Shaktimat. This Brahma is called Karanam of this Jagat. Why? Because Maya Shaktimat. This Brahma is Avyakta word is here for Maya. They will coin such words. You have to pay attention. Sometimes Avyakta, Avyaya, they will use for Maya also. So this Brahma Uchyate here will stop. Avyaktam Maya Shaktimat. This Brahma Paramatma has, title cause of this world only because of Maya Shakti. Maya Shaktimat. Shaktimat means endowed with Maya Shakti. That Brahma is Karanam of this Jagat. You see, pure consciousness, same consciousness associated with Maya Shakti creates the world. Pure Brahma is not Karanam of this world. Pure consciousness with Maya, they create the world. 14th chapter, first 3 slokas are explaining this. Okay, this much is good. Maya Shaktimat tat moolam asya iti sah ayam samsara vrukshah urdhva moolam. Okay, tat moolam, that Maya Shaktimat Brahma is moolam asya iti. Asya samsara vrukshasya Maya Shaktimat Brahma moolam. I ordered it in proper manner. Saha ayam samsara vruksha. That is this samsara vruksha. What is the karanam? Brahma along with Maya is the karanam of this jagat. We'll think upon this little bit. Samsara vruksha urdhva moolah. Okay, now Bhagwan Shankaracharya's style. After 3 lines, there will be quotation. You identify that this is Shankaracharya's work. What I feel, what my ideas are there, you keep it with you. What Shastra says, we'll take it on our head. Okay, Shruteshcha, Shrutehe cha, and Shruti also says, what? Urdhvamulo vakshakah esho shvattha sanatanaha. Kathopanishad 2:3:1. Iti. Thus, Shruti also says, Urdhva Moolam. Moolam is superior. Avak means down. Shakha. Eshah Ashwatthah. And this is Ashwatha. Ashwatha means what? It is coming. Sanatanaha iti. Okay. Only in Upanishad it is said. Now you see Shankaracharya. Purane cha avyakta moola prabhavata sevanugrahotpitaha buddhiskandamayaishchaiva Indriyantarakotaraha. This is from Mahabharata. Same process is explained fully. Mahapurana means what? The elaborate explanation of ideas given in Upanishad. So Purane cha means I told you and. Purana means in Purana. Mahabharate in Mahabharata. Vasante in Vasanta. Amite in Amita. Like that Purane cha. Avyakta Mula Prabhavaha. This word has sprung forth from Avyakta Mula. Means Paramatma along with Avyakta means Maya. Tasya eva anugraho tritaha. And this world is blessed by that Maya along with Paramatma. Okay, Buddhi Skanda Maya Ischaiva. Buddhi is the trunk, you can say Buddhi is the main part or first part which comes. This Buddhi is not our intellect. Okay, this Hiranya Garbha and different deep topics are there. We will just touch upon them and we will go on. Buddhi Mayaschaiva Indriyantara Kotaraha. And then first Buddhi, then this is Yoga Prakriya, Sankhya Prakriya, like first Mahat Tattva, Ahankar, and then Indriya, Panchatan Matra, all this. Okay. Indriyantara Kotaraha. And then Indriyas, like apertures, Golaka, Indriya. Mahabhuta Vishakhascha, and 5 elements, they are the Shakha, branches of this Avyakta Prabhavaha Samsara Vruksha. Okay, that is the Shakha. Vishayaihi Patravan Tatha. Patravan Tatha means Patravan Tatha. Here, Samsara Vrukshasya leaves are Vishayaihi. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. They are the leaves of this Vruksha here. Dharma, Adharma, Supushpahacha. And Dharma, Adharma, they are the flowers of this Vruksha. And what are the Phala? Sukha, Dukha, Phalodayah. Sukha and Dukha, they are the fruits of this Vruksha. Ajivya Sarva Bhutanam Brahma Vruksha Sanatana. Ajivya means all Mahabhutas, they are sustaining because of this Brahma. That easiness and knowledge part is sustaining my existence. My existence is because of this Ajivya Brahma. Is it true for me or everybody? Sarva Bhutanam Brahma Vruksha. And that is why this is Ajivya means Ashraya. That is why it is Sanatana. Etad Brahma Vanam Chaiva Brahmacharati Nityasha. And this is called Brahma Vanam. Okay, Brahma Vanam, forest of consciousness. And Brahma Acharati Nityasha. And Brahma always stays in this Samsara Vruksha. Okay. Etad Chitva Cha Bhitva Cha Jnanena Paramasina. Param Asina Jnanena. Param means superior. Asina means axe. Axe is what? Jnanena. By the superior acts of knowledge, we have to cut down this tree. Chitva cha bhitva cha. Chitva means you cut it down. Bhitva means you like shatter this samsara vruksha. Tataha atmaratim prapta. And when you, with knowledge, when you cut asunder this tree, then you get atmarati. So, from atmarati, when will I get? Samsara vruksha chedanam. When I do, when I cut this samsara vruksha, then I will get atmarati. Okay, less dosha darshanam in samsara. Beautiful sentence of Swamiji. Dosha darshanam in samsara will increase your joy, love in Atma Tattva. That is why this samsara vruksha varnanam is there. Yes. Prapya. And once you reach this Atma Rati, like you enjoy your company, you enjoy yourself, no need of anything, then tasmat na avartate punam. From there you don't come back. Mahabharat Ashwa Parva 17 खंड 12 to 15 श्लोक इत्यादि. Okay. Many more, etc. Tam urdhvamulam samsaram mayamayam vruksham. And this samsara is actually illusion. Mayamayam vruksham. It is not the real one. Okay. Tam urdhvamulam samsaram mayamayam. Only with Maya Shakti it is possible that from Paramatma this world will appear. With the help of Paramatma, Maya Shakti can show us illusion. Simply put, with the help of, or in simple way, that magician show you Maya. Okay, because those tricks are there. That tricks means Maya. That magicians mean Atmata. Only tricks, they will not come here and there. That Paramatma, magician, will show you in this whole world, and which will be only in appearance. Maya Mayam, it is not real. It will appear real. Substratum is real, that is why. Okay. My question, I want to tell you briefly questions. If you understand quickly, then we'll go ahead. You see, only 4 lines we have read. I have to finish whole Bhashya. Let it be first shloka you enjoy thoroughly, then we'll jump. When effects, now I have put that pause because it is said Karanam, Brahma is Karanam, and world is effect. Fresh up your mind again. Brahma is Karanam and world is effect. Now Purva Paksha says when effect comes out of cause, then actually cause cease to exist. Simple language, this is my language. When like something effect, when effect comes, then cause doesn't remain. This is his thinking, and he is supporting his argument with milk and curd example. Milk turning into curd. See, milk is the cause, and milk disappears when it turns into cause. I want you will understand. Only you can bear it. Like milk is the cause. Simple way. That milk, when turns into curd, does milk remain? No. Milk also cease to exist. Milk also changes. You see here example is given. Bhagwan said Paramatma is like a seed. Okay, root, seed, and this tree is samsara. So when seed turns into tree, does seed remain? No. Seed also cease to exist. Seed also cease to exist when we see any bruksha. That time that bruksha is actually modification of that seed. Seed doesn't remain. Otherwise, bruksha will not come. If seed, tells I will remain as it is. Now his conclusion is when world comes out of Brahman, then Brahma also ceases to exist. What a conclusion. Because you only said word came from Brahma. Brahma is Karanam. So when cause effect comes out of cause, then cause ceases to exist. This is his argument, which is logical also. Okay. He wants to say simple way, Brahma is also changing. Brahma is not eternal. Like cause also changes as the effect came. So as effect came, cause ceased to exist, or there are modifications in Brahma also. These things is that. We may say if it is modification, what's wrong with that? No. If I myself will have some modifications, then all modifications will fall on me. And one day this Brahma Vinashati also. 6 modification will be applicable to this Brahma. The Siddhanta Hani will happen. Now, how to answer this person? It sounds logical that when milk turns into curd, milk vanishes. The answer is given beautiful here. Without undergoing any change, word sprung forth. Beautiful answer. This Brahma is such kind of Karanam which doesn't go any modification, which doesn't go under any modification, and the effect is born. And name is Brahman is Vivarta Upadana Karanam. Brahma is Karanam. We don't deny that, but you understand what Vedanta wants to say. Otherwise, we will say Brahma ceased to exist. Brahma is not there. Logically, you will be able to prove. But we say Brahma is Karanam, but Brahma is Vivarta Upadana Karanam. Vivarta means without going under any modification, changes will happen. Yes, this is possible. Example is rope and snake. Like rope is Karanam of snake, but without any modification, rope appears as a snake. Same way, Brahman, without going under any modification, this world appears. Yeah, we gave the answer that Brahma is Karanam, but you please understand Brahma is Vivarta Upadana Karanam. Yes. Yes. Okay, this was the answer here. Karanam, we clarified. Brahma is Karanam, but without undergoing any changes, Karanam, world comes into being. How can we say? World comes. Okay. Next, Ityadi. Now Bhagwan is explaining how the process, how world, how Panchatan Matra and all everything. Adaha Shakam. You see here, yellow line. Somebody has done this. It is actually great upakara on us. Adha Shakam means whatever this yellow highlighted is there, yellow letters. That means it is original mantra, original sloka. And after that, whatever is, it is the explanation of that word. Basics, these are basics. Adha Shakam, it comes in shloka. Adha Shakam, now Bhagwan is explaining what is meant by Adha Shakam. It is not that branches are down. Okay, Bhagwan is telling which way I have to understand. I told you superior, inferior, and beyond comprehension, and comprehensible. Okay. Adha Shakam. Bhagwan is explaining why it is called Adha Shakam. Mahat Ahankara Tan Matradayah Shakha Iva. Shakhaha Iva Asya Adha Bhavanti Iti. Sah Ayam Adha Shakha. Tam Adha Shakham. Adha Shakham word is explained here. Why it is called Adha Shakham? Because Brahma, Mahat Ahankara, Panchatan Matra, and then Vistara of Samsara. How Vistara has happened, Bhagwan will explain here only. But why it is called Adaha? Because one after the other, next thing is coming. Like Mahat Ahankar is Karma, then Panchamatra is coming. So there is hierarchy. Okay, that is why it is called Adha Shakha. And we can say it is more comprehensible also. We cannot see Mahad Ahankara Panchatan Matra. But as it comes down like Vishayaha, everything, we can see it. And with respect to Brahma, superior one, everything is inferior one. Naneshwar Maharaj has given simple example of sun. Sun is above and all rays. If you see, all rays are down. So with respect to that sun, all rays are coming down. That is why Mahat Ahankara Tan Matradayah Shakhaha. You can see here Shakha is Strilinga word, but in Shloka it has come Shakham. Bhagwan is correcting here. Correcting means giving the grammatical meaning. Shakhaha. Shakham is, we say Arsha Prayog. Arsha Prayog means it is a Vedic Prayog. Shakha, actually Shakha it should be, but it is Shakham. So Mahad Ahankar comes first, then Tanmatra, then Vishayaha, like that, the whole world comes. Asya Adaha Bhavanti, iti Saha Ayam Adha Shakam. So Urdhvam means Paramatma, Adha Shakam means this Vistara. How it comes, we have seen. Now Ashwatham word Bhagwan is explaining. Many learned people also they say Ashwastham. So it is Ashwatham. Shvaha means tomorrow. A means no tomorrow. And Tham means Bhagwan is explaining Na Shvaha api sthata iti Ashwatthah. Ashwatha means samsara is like that. You cannot, that thing will not remain as it is tomorrow also. Shvaha api sthata na Shvaha api. I cannot guarantee that this thing will remain as it is tomorrow also. That is called Ashwatham. You see the whole world. I cannot say that this thing will remain as it is tomorrow. Our life is also transient. What will you guarantee in this whole world? Ashwatham means I cannot guarantee that this will remain tomorrow also. Okay. Bhagwan, I did not understand clearly. Bhagwan said, Tam Shana Pradhamsinam. What tomorrow? In second, it will destroy. Everything will fall apart. This Bhagwan is protecting all of us. Okay? That is why everything is intact. Otherwise, anything is transient. Anything, anytime, anything can happen. Yeah, it is very true. If you see people around you, it is very dangerous. Like everything will change just in moment. Like suddenly, if you, I mean, just example, if suddenly something comes in your blood, like cancer, it's not in our, but any person's blood, whole idea is changed, whole life is changed now. This is the nature of this samsara. But this doesn't come to us. That is why we don't realize that. But this bhashya will make you understand Shana Pradhamsana. Why it is said people tree? Because people trees leaves are very transient. Little bit wind also, breeze also will make lot of noise. If you see that people tree, lot of noise with little breeze also. This samsara is like that. Little bit dukkha breeze will shake my whole understanding, thinking, life. But thank God, such unexpectable conditions doesn't come in our life. That is the good part of our life. So we are utilizing it in best way. Okay, now Bhagwan is telling why I told Avyaya to this samsara. Avyayam. Why? Because Anadi Kala Pravrutatvat. This is the reason. Here is the reason. Avyayam. Samsara Mayaya. You see, if Bhagwan Shankaracharya's literature, if you see, it is all the time when it comes to creation, it is Mayaya. Always. Okay? Mayaya means it is a Shakti of Bhagwan. Okay? From pure consciousness, nothing has happened. It is intact. Nothing will happen to it. Everything is happening because of this Maya. So Bhagwan is telling why I have called this Avyaya, Samsara as Avyaya. Samsara Mayaya Anadi Kala Prabhuttatvat. This samsara is there from time immemorial, or from the beginning of this creation, this samsara is there. That is why I call this samsara avyaya. Another siddhanta, that which is anadi is eternal. That which is anadi, that which doesn't, we don't know its time, when it comes, how it comes. that thing will be eternal also. This is the rule. Anadi will be Ananta. Okay, general rule. But this samsara is Anadi, but it has Anta. Param asina jnanena Anta is there. Okay. Anadikala pravrutatvat. This samsara is there from time immemorial. Saha ayam samsara vrukshah avyayah. And that this samsara vruksha is avyaya because we don't know when it started. We don't know adi of this samsara. So we say anadi. It doesn't. We don't know beginning of this samsara, and nobody has seen the end of this samsara. So it is ananta also. See, Paramatma and Maya, we use same word, Anadi, Anadi, Ananta, and endless also. But connotations are different. We'll have that clarity first. Paramatma Anadi means who doesn't have Adi, cause. Okay? Anadi word for Paramatma means who doesn't have cause of it. That is called Anadi. Okay, and samsara anadi means we don't know the beginning of this samsara. It had some starting point, but for Brahma there is no start and no end. There is no cause for Brahma to start, but there is cause to this world to start. What is that cause? Urdhva Moolam. Anadi anadi, you understood? Anadi for Paramatma means that which doesn't have any cause is called anadi. Samsara is anadi means we don't know adi of that. We don't know the beginning time of samsara. That is why it is anadi. Lot of clarity. Okay. Samsara mayayaha anadi kala pravrutatvat saha ayam samsara vruksha avyayata. So if you don't understand Sanskrit but you love Shankaracharya ji, something will strike you and something you will get when I translate also. The same thing is told here. Anadyan, Anadi, Ananta, Dehadi, Dehad, Anadi, Ananta, Dehadi, Santanash, Santanashrayah, hi suprasiddhah tam avyayam. Bhagavan is telling this samsara is Anadi Ananta. Means Ananta here means not infinite. Ananta for Paramatma means infinite. And Ananta for samsara means nobody has seen the end of this samsara, pralaya of this samsara. That is why it is Ananta. Paramatma is Ananta means it is infinite. Nobody can, there is nothing other than Paramatma. That is why Paramatma is infinite. Okay. So this Anadi Ananta Dehadi Santana Ashraya hi Suprasiddha Tam Avyayam. That whatever I explained, Pravahi Nityam is from here. Santana means a continuously flow. Santana, we say Santati, means our progeny. Like that, this samsara is Avyaya, Anadi, Ananta, Dehadi, Santanashraya Suprasiddham. Pravahi Nityam, this samsara is Prasiddham. This samsara is eternal with respect to Pravahi Nityatvam. Okay, Pravahi Nityatvam, I explained, it is like a water, a river water, which is changing, but it appears to be not non-changing. Okay, and it is Suprasiddha, it is well known. Dehadi, Deha, etc. is the sequence, like first Deha, then again Karma, then Karma. So this is Anadi Ananta process. This will, you will not come out of that process unless you cut it. Deha, karma, raga, dvesha, everything is a cycle. It will be santanashraya. It will be continuously going on. It will never end. You do karma, desires will be there. Desires, they will put vasana. Then vasana, again janma, karma. This is santana. This way it is continuing. That is why it is called avyayam. Tam avyayam. Okay. तस्य एव संसार वृक्षस्य अन्यत् विशेषणम्. तस्य एव, of that samsara vrukshasya, of that samsara tree, idam anyat visheshanam. There is one more adjective for this samsara. What is that? Chandamsi yasya parnani. Chandamsi, Bhagavan is explaining. Chandamsi means Vedas. Chadanat Chandamsi. Chadan here means that which protects, that which conceals. It is called Chadana. So Vedas are the protector of this samsara. Okay, like leaves, they protect the tree. This is something scientific thinking. If you read Gurudev's commentary, Gurudev has given the reason that how leaves protect the tree. Many things are Gurudev has written, like they evaporate and they ask root to give water, and this way that leaves are protecting trees. This is something new. And Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji will also support Bhagwan Krishna's argument. Okay. You see here now. Chandamsi means Veda. Yasya means Samsara Vrukshasya. Parnani means leaves. Vedas are the leaves of this Samsara Vruksha. Of this Samsara, Vedas are the leaves. Means what? If you see any Vruksha with no leaves, it is you can't see that tree. Like that, if these Vedas are not there, then this samsara will not have any point, any glory, any glow if Vedas are not there. So these Vedas are the protector of this samsara. If you are in this samsara, you take help of Vedas. They will protect you from this samsara. Okay, we'll go ahead. Chandamsi Chadanat Ruk Yajus Sama Lakshanani. Chandamsi means Ruk Yajus Sama. Rugved, Yajurved, Samaved, Atharva is included in that. Yasya Samsara Vrukshasya Parnani Iva Parnani. As though this samsara, this Vedas are like leaves, as though Parnani. Okay. Why it is called Parnani? Bhagavan Bhashyakara is telling, Yatha, like Vrukshasya Parirakshanaarthani Parnani. Bhagavan Shankaracharya is telling, Parirakshanaani. Pari means charo taraf se, all around. Rakshanarthani Parnani. Leaves, they protect the tree to all direction. Same Tatha, same way, Vedaha Samsara Vruksha Parirakshanaarthaha. Vedas, they will protect you from this samsara. Another meaning is also there. You can dive as much as possible. Okay, 5-10 minutes will be here and there. So I want to complete this. Okay. Why these are why these Vedas are the protector? Bhagavan is telling, because Veda has that power that will tell you what thing will you pap and punya. Bhagavan is telling, dharma adharma tad hetuhu phala pradarsanarthatvat. Veda will tell you, if you do this, what will happen. If you do this, this will happen. So this way they will protect you if you commit any mistake. Vedas will, before in hand, they will instruct you. Don't do this. So you are protected from this samsara. This way, Vedas are the protector. They will protect you. How? They will tell you what is the hetu means reason. Dharma, dharma, tad hetu phala. What is the result of any punya karma or any papa karma, any adharma and dharma? They will tell you. And once they tell you, if you do this, you will acquire papa. You will not do this, and this way you will be saved from this samsara. It is said that one by one commentator, this samsara vruksha, another meaning I am giving, this samsara leaves means Vedas means Purva Mimamsa. Okay, this Purva Mimamsa will channelize your karma, and they will protect you from going down. Okay, and as it is said, this leaves, they will protect these trees. Same way, if you go into Purva Mimamsa, then you do karma, then swarga. This samsara vruksha is well nourished. You will not come out of that unless you are in karma path. So different two meanings. First meaning that Vedas has the power to illumine or to tell you what is wrong, what is right and what is wrong. If they tell you this is wrong, you will stay away from that. This way you will not go into samsara. First meaning. Second meaning is, if you go on doing karma only, then samsara vruksha will be green. Always there will be many samsaris because they are in that cycle. Unless you give up this Purva Mimamsa part and comes in Uttar Mimamsa, you will not come out of this samsara. Okay? Yes. यथा व्याख्यातम संसार वृक्षम समूलम यह तम वेद स वेदवित्. यथा व्याख्यातम, as it is said, samsara vruksha samulam. I told you, I not only should know the root samsara vruksha, but also Brahma. I have to know samsara vruksha also as well as Brahma. Who told this? Bhagwan Shankaracharya. यथा व्याख्यातम samsara vruksham samulam mulena sah. I have to know Brahma also and samsara also. Yah tam samsara vruksham veda, the one who knows samsara vruksha along with Brahma, sa vedavit, he is the knower of Vedas. Then Bhagavan said Vedartha vid ityartha, means he knows the essence of Vedas. Like one who knows samsara vruksha and Brahma, he know all Veda. No, it is not like that. Vedarthavi, he knows the exact meaning of Veda. Veda wants to communicate that Brahma, and he knows that when he understands the samsara vruksha and Paramatma also. Another way, stay up, okay? Only 5 more minutes. Unless you understand something is mithya of no use, then only you will leave that part. If you understand samsara vruksha is futile, samsara is futile, it will not yield anything, then only you will go for Paramatma. Okay. So knowing samsara vruksha, once you know samsara, then only you will go ahead towards Paramatma. And once you know Paramatma, means you know the essence of Veda. So Yahatam Veda, one who knows samsara vruksha means one who understands the mithyatva of samsara, he will go to Paramatma, he will know Paramatma, then only he will call as Vedarthavit. He knows the meaning of Veda. Okay, last point. Nahi samulat samsara vrukshat ज्ञेयः अस्मात् ज्ञेयः अन्यः अनुमात्रः अपि अवशिष्टः अस्ति अतः सर्वज्ञः सर्ववेदार्थवित् इति. Bhagavan is telling why that person is called Vedarthavit. Only he knows the nature of samsara and Paramatma's nature. Why it is called Vedarthavit or Sarvajnah? Bhagavan is telling, if you know this samsara, there is nothing left or to know. Beautiful. Nahi samulat means along with Brahma, this samsara vruksha. Nahi samulat samsara vrukshat asmat अस्मात् संसार वृक्षात् अन्यः अनुमात्रः ज्ञेयः अपि अवशिष्टः अस्ति. If you know this samsara vriksha, you will know everything. Because samsara you can know, atma tattva you cannot know. Atma tattva is your nature. So if you understand this samsara, there is nothing to know in this samsara. Samsara is everything which is known, and atma tattva is actually, it is my swarupa. I need not know it. Just I have to know that I am that. This much knowledge is important. That is why it is called Sarvajna. Sarva Vedarthavid. Two times you have to listen this. Then only, if you are not used to reading Bhasha and all, you will feel it is very, very, very hard. It is said that person is called Vedavid. It is out of Stuti only. We all must know this samsara vruksha. It is like temptation. If you know samsara vruksha, I will call you Vedavid. So this is Stuti done. Actually, he is not Sarvajna. Like if he knows only samsara, he is Sarvajna or Vedarthavid. Vedarthavid are, they are different. One who studies, practice it, preach it. That is Vedarthavid. He knows full Veda. But here Stuti is done so that we will engage ourselves to know the samsara. Samulam samsara vruksha jnanam stauti. Bhagwan is praising that person who knows the samsara. And how he is praising? One who knows the samsara vruksha, he is Vedavid. Okay? This way he is telling. Just last line. Tasya eva samsara vrukshasya apara avayava kalpana uchyate. Of that tasya eva, of that samsara vrukshasya apara avayava kalpana uchyate. Bhagwan is telling me another kalpana, rupak, another part of this samsara. Every time this would happen. Our Swamiji, he has to finish many things, and he would feel how long this will continue. Now I have stopped here reading and talking. After this also he will take 10 minutes. So whatever energy is there or stamina is there to listen, already it is fed up in 1 hour, 10 minutes. And then he will take 10 minutes. This is how he will boost your stamina. Like if I am taking 10 minutes means it is like boosting process. Yeah, 10 minutes I can bear. So sometimes, see, one sloka we saw. In next class, briefly in 5 minutes, I will explain first sloka, we will complete second sloka. Okay, what did we saw in short? Ashwatam means that I can't guarantee that it will remain as it is. Why it is aware? Because it is anadi, that is why aware. And Bhagwan praised this person because we all should engage ourselves in knowing the samsara vruksha. The samsara vruksha is avyaya because substratum is real. That is why the samsara vruksha is appearing as real. As you know the samsara vruksha, your love for self-knowledge, atma rati will be more and more. Okay, that is why for Vairagya, I have to know samsara vruksha. Vairagya person is qualified for Paramatma Tattva. We'll see next sloka, Anvaya Artha, everything in next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.